the key to increasing human control has been increasing human centralization of power. And it's happening in front of our eyes.
So do you think people are like, had enough now? Oh, they're getting sick of it. Of course they're getting sick of it as they begin to understand the scale of it and where this ultimately is going to lead, which will be silencing any dissent whatsoever. That's what it's all about. And you know what sickens me more than anything else about these ultra-Zionist hate groups is that they are exploiting. I mean, it almost is incomprehensible to think that they are exploiting what happened to Jewish people in Nazi Germany. Something I'm supposed to be denying according to them. They are exploiting the horrors of what happened to Jewish people in Nazi Germany, and others, by the way, to pursue an agenda of silencing dissent today. That is beyond sickening, turns my stomach. And they need to be called out on it. Because, you know, in terms of me, they've taken on the wrong guy. Because I don't give a damn what people think of me. But I do give a damn about people having a right to have an opinion, even if I don't agree with it. And a lot of people, when they're faced with this, they run or they give up.
Why don't you? What drives you, David?
Well, if you give up what you have researched for 30 years to understand what the end game is, will happen unchallenged. So giving up is just absolutely not an option. When people try to silence me, I just run at them even quicker. And if you don't give up and you speak your truth and you're not spewing out hatred and all this other stuff, but you're talking about the need to love each other and the need to put down the fault lines that divide us, then it's a power in itself which true hatred, which is that trying to silence you, can't cope with. You know, when true hatred, like these ultra-Zionist hate groups, come into conflict with true hatred, which is some of these far-right operations, then that's a different dynamic, because that's hate fighting hate. But when hate's trying to silence, or hate trying to silence hate, but when hate's trying to silence someone who's trying to articulate our hatred is how we got into this mess, how allowing the fault lines to divide us is how we got into this mess, then that dynamic is different. And that's why they struggle with me. Because I'm not saying what they claim I'm saying, and they can't make that stand up, therefore, to any proper examination. And that's why they will never debate with me. I've offered to debate with them. I said to them, I will debate all of you together, just me, no problem. They won't do it. Because let me tell you another quick story to show how far this has gone and how disgusting it is. I had a book launch of my new book, Everything You Need to Know But Have Never Been Told. And the first book launch was in Edinburgh, and they tried to stop that. And the owner of the venue, who'd spent a lot of time in Israel, by the way, got a barrister to look through my work to see if what was being claimed by these hate groups was true. He rightly concluded it wasn't. It went ahead. Brilliant. No problem. Spoke in London a few days later at the Troxy venue in London. And again, they tried to stop it, but the owner knew what I was saying, knew what they were claiming was a nonsense. It went ahead. It was great. In fact, there were some people there from these hate groups who heard what I said, saw that it absolutely wasn't racist, but they completely ignore that. On the Friday of the same week, I was due to speak in Manchester. First of all, I was due to speak before at the Lowry Hotel in Manchester as a book launch. All going well, booking taken. These hate groups eventually lie through their teeth to the Lowry, and the Lowry panic and say, oh, we're going to cancel. Then there was a second one, which is at some museum, and then they did the same. And then we went to Manchester United, Old Trafford, and explained to them what's been happening. And the people at Manchester United, in the conference area anyway, said, oh, no, we're Manchester United. We don't back down to them, to intimidation. No problem. So it went on, On the Thursday afternoon, with the event on the Friday, with people coming from long distances, and a lot of the people are going to be there, Manchester United supporters, at this book launch. It was a dinner. On the Thursday afternoon, my son Jamie, who organises all this stuff, was in conversation with Manchester United for the final arrangements. Next morning, when these ultra-Zionist hate groups got wind of where the venue was going to be, because we kept it quiet because of what happens, they contact Manchester United. They contact the local Labour MP for the Manchester United area called Kate Green, who's virtue signalling in all directions. She contacts Kick It Out, this anti-racist group in football, and together they pressure Manchester United to pull the event on the morning it was happening. Never mind all those people that had bought tickets for this dinner. Never mind there were people who it was his birthday present for. No matter there were lots of Man United supporters among them. Cancel it. Now here's a question. What does Kate Green, Labour MP, know about what I'm saying? Nothing. Only what the hate groups told her. What did Kick It Out know about what I'm saying? Nothing. Only what the hate groups told them. This is how easy it is to destroy freedom of speech. And I'll tell you one other thing about Manchester. In early 2017, I was due to do an all-day event at the Manchester O2 Apollo. Again, a sellout. And these hate groups approached the Apollo to cancel. Now, fortunately, I've spoken at a number of venues of the same chain. They know what I'm saying. They know the kind of people that come along, and they know what happens. So, of course, they said no. So, and it went ahead. So what this, one of these groups, they're called the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism. This is the worst. It was launched right in the middle of the last Israeli bombardment of Gaza, when the British public were appalled about the slaughter that was going on. And they said to the audience that came to the event, email us with the anti-Semitism and make a complaint to us, and then we'll take it further. Well, of course, there was none. So what the audience did was email them with copies to me, saying, actually, he said the opposite. He said we need to love each other and put down the fault lines that divide us, like race and religion. What the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism then did, it's called the CAA, is ignore those emails, ignore what the audience said that I spoke about, and went to the subsequent venues and told them the same that they told the Manchester venue and previous venues about what I'm going to say. That's the disingenuous manipulation that's going on. And like I say, some of the biggest people that had the biggest consequences from this are Jewish people. And we have to stop running away from these things, running away from talking about them, and just speak the facts. Because if we don't face this, then this grotesque misrepresentation is going to destroy freedom of speech for everybody, because that's what it's meant to do.
Okay, so paradox going on here. I realise my need for Facebook and YouTube in getting my message out there, and sometimes feel a bit wronged, maybe not as strongly as you, but certainly I do certainly feel that my reach is getting artificially reduced. So
Yeah.
you sell millions of books. You know, you've got 750,000 followers, I think, on Facebook.
I'll stop you there.
Okay, no, please.
3 years ago, I had about 750,000 followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
All these years later, with interest in my work exploding, I have about 750,000 followers on Facebook.
So something's going on there, you think?
That's the algorithms at work and
Yeah.
how the suppression operates.
Yeah. And how do you deal with inside or balance this paradox of these being a great platform for you to get your message and your work out to the world, yet feeling controlled and limited by them?
Well, it's
I'm going to take notes myself here because I've done the same thing.
Well, it's a simple reply, really. First of all, they're becoming less and less of a good platform as the suppression contracts what is getting circulated. But you use the system to expose the system, because the system has the networks of communication. So as best, and dominates them. So as best you can, you have to use the system to expose the system. But in terms of entrepreneurs, and it is starting to happen, you know, what do they say? What's that line? Necessity is the mother of invention, old saying. Entrepreneurs, if you like, who are genuine, who believe in freedom of speech, they have a fantastic opportunity here and can make an enormous contribution to human freedom by developing platforms, not least video platforms, and developing communication platforms to replace these system-controlled operations.